fighters, they want to fight the top fighters. But I think certain situations present themselves where maybe this top contender is maybe an easier go and can pay more money or whatnot. I think the champions have to be enticed into fighting a guy like White. They're not going to willingly fight a guy like White because he's very dangerous, you know. And I think a champion rates his money-making ability based on his ability to keep that title, you know. A champion will always have to fight top contenders, but a guy like White is not going to be as enticing until he's forced upon them, you know. So we'll see if he can be champion.
Wow. These are words from Paulie Malignaggi, and he was breaking it down realistically, unbiasedly, because you can tell these are facts. People like Dillian White, fighters like Dillian White, those guys that have fought the top fighters, those guys that have been in the position long as they have, will be avoided. They won't be that fight or that fighter that you would want to just voluntarily fight. Because if that was the case, I think Wilder, I think Fury, I think a lot of these fighters would have fought. And you think about it. Even Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker didn't fight Dillian Whyte until he lost to AJ. You see what I'm saying? Because he knew, I've lost that strap, so I have to do something big to get where I was, and he couldn't do that. It was a good fight, don't get me wrong, but can you imagine Joseph Parker doing that shit when he had the belt? No, he wanted to unify because he wanted that opportunity to make that cash. So a lot of times where, like Wilder, for example, Wilder ain't going to take a fight with Dillian Whyte because he knows he can make more money with Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where that was. See, the bad thing about Wilder, like I've always said, is the people that manage Wilder. The way he was managed by Shelly Finkel was like, it was some babysitting shit. You know, he babysitted Deontay Wilder. He should have had Deontay Wilder fighting guys like Luis Ortiz years ago. You know what I mean? And then he wouldn't be looked at like he was looked at all these years. See, people criticize Deontay Wilder because they give them room to. See, guys like Dillian White, he should have fought Dillian White when he fought Dominic Brazil. You know what I'm saying? He should have fought those guys. He didn't fight those guys because first of all, no one made him fight those guys. And the people that was his matchmakers, his management, like Shelly Finkel, didn't really want him in there with tough guys. You know, he was protected. And like Paulie Malignaggi was saying, he was saying that like the strength of you staying a champion is holding on to those belts, is fighting people that you know that is not a big risk on you losing those fucking belts or that belt. You know what I mean? Because that's a dangerous fight. Dillian White isn't a kind of guy that, you know, will just lay down. You think that Dillian White's talking all this trash not to fight? He's doing all this and going through all this trouble and going after sanctioning bodies, right? That's a no-no, really. You don't want to go after the sanctioning body, especially if you're the top guy at the sanctioning body. Why would you do that? You're doing that because he wants an opportunity to fight the best, which Wilder, Joseph Parker at the time, and Tyson Fury don't want to do. So all those guys avoid Wilder. It's not just Wilder, but since Wilder comes into mention because he's the top guy and that's the guy to fight, he should have fought White a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I want to discuss is how Paulie Malignaggi is the guy that brought to the forefront that, hey, why wasn't he ever a voluntary? A guy like Dillian White, dangerous as he is, will never be a voluntary. Never. You know what I mean? A voluntary is Tyson Fury. And everybody knows why Deontay Wilder picked Tyson Fury. Because he thought, I'm going to go. And really, you know what? I think Deontay Wilder picked Tyson Fury. Yeah, they built him up. You know what I mean? And then really they didn't know they were really giving him confidence by saying what he is, the lineal champ, and he's dangerous, and he's not a pushover and all that. But they knew. Shelly Finkel authorized, he allowed that fight to go down because he knew Tyson Fury been sitting on his ass for God knows how long. You know what I mean? If they picked that fight because they thought that fight was an easy win. We all know that. And the big ass surprise was that night when Tyson Fury didn't fade after the 6th round. We were all wrong. I was wrong. I thought Deontay Wilder was going to go out there and fucking double refry his ass. I thought he was going to knock his head off into somewhere back to the UK. That's what I thought. I thought, man, Deontay Wilder going to hit that dude and hurt him. Yeah. Because there's no way, but that's going on the strength and the confidence that you figure, or they figured at the time, that we can knock out Tyson Fury easy. Going in there and fighting someone like Dillian Whyte is not the same thing, especially fighting someone, that is dangerous. They don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, though these fighters understand that we don't want to fight no one like White. So White is being avoided. That's why White is doing his own thing. You know what I mean? That's why they don't want to fuck with White like that. They'll talk shit. Yeah, I'll fight you. I'm coming to you. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury saying the same shit. I'll beat you. I'll fight you outside the ring. Dude, that's just making a circus. If you really want to fight this guy to show that you're the best, fight that guy. That's all bullshit. You know what I mean? And honestly, me counterpunching this from what Paulie Malignaggi saying, my takes on it is that I feel that Deontay Wilder, he hates Matchroom. He hates Eddie Hearn. He hates everything that is attached to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. And I think that's one of the factors why. I think if Dillian White was a part of the PBC, he would have fought him. I do believe that. But I do think that Deontay Wilder, I think his team has picked fights for him for the longest of time, and they haven't stopped yet. You know what I mean? So there, you decide, I decided to do a mandatory. He didn't have to take that fucking mandatory if he would have fought Tyson Fury, because the WBC lets them do whatever they want to do as long as they're paying out that cash. That's it. You know what I mean? So that you can take that mandatory shit out of the window. That was the only reason he fought Dominic Breazeale, because that's something he said he had to do, which he didn't. Okay? So, no. Paulie Malignaggi's right about that, though, because Dillian White is a dangerous fighter. And fighting someone like Dillian White, not saying Deontay Wilder couldn't win. It's just, why would you risk that versus someone when you can fight Fury and get more money, and Fury can't even hurt you? But now I really don't even know if Fury can't hurt Wilder, because he buckled Wilder in the 12th round. So I don't know. That's I guess the devil is better than the one you don't. He knows Tyson Fury. He's been 12 rounds with him. So why would you risk that? Get paid possibly more money, right? Fighting Fury on pay-per-view, and fight a less risk person. He might, box you all around the ring. He might outbox you, but you have that equalizer to knock him out, and you're really not too concerned about what's coming back. Not really. Not like those other fighters that can actually punch. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my take on it. I think, Wilder should fight Dillian White. I think that at some point you just got to get tired of hearing someone talk shit about you. You know what I'm saying? And that only leaves more criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wilder, Dillian White has been calling you everything except a child of God, or a child of God. But then you've actually kind of mentioned him here and there, where you should have been like, fuck it, motherfucker, I'm going to fight you next. That's real shit. And then that's the same energy that you saw Deontay Wilder do with certain fighters, just not all of them. You know what I mean? Fight them with the guys that are calling you out, not the guys that are talking shit. So that would change my whole perception about Deontay Wilder if he would do that. You know what I mean? If he did that Charlie V or that Charlie Z shit. The crazy cat that liked to fight people in gyms and shit. That cat. If he did that with everybody in the boxing community, oh yeah. You know what I mean? But now he doesn't want to fight these guys who want to fight him. It makes him look like a bully. It does. Wait, you was able to come fight Tony Bellew. That motherfucker ain't even a heavyweight. He fought as a heavyweight. You know what I mean? But, he's retired on top of that. Why you gonna fuck with him? And then he calls Paulie a bitch. If Paulie was probably 175, he'd talk about going down to light heavyweight to fight him. Just like to shut him up because he's mad because he doesn't like what he had to say. Well, that would only be cool if you did that with everyone that talks shit about you. Oh, what? He's saying I can't do what? Okay, let's go. Because that I can respect. You know who had that spirit? Roy Jones Jr. had that spirit. Oh, you say I can't do what? Okay, let's do it. Right? That's the kind of attitude that you want. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of attitude that Deontay Wilder half-ass has. I want him to have that all the way. You know, so anybody can get it. You know what I mean? Like he said in many interviews, come shut me up. Any champion, any contender. I go where you go. I'll come whoop you wherever you at. I want to be shut up. Remember that? That's the Deontay Wilder I want to see in regards to Dillian White. You know? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Paulie Malignaggi's statements. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.